Srimad Swami Atmasthananji Maharaj was the 15th president of the Ramakrishna order. When he was vice president, once he had come to Rajkot. Now, there is a room on the first floor where he used to be accommodated. But during this visit, in the meanwhile, a new room was made for him. A new room was prepared on the ground floor so that he need not climb the staircase. In order to reduce his going to the staircase, the room was prepared for him in the ground floor. There was another additional thing that was done was a small waiting hall just near his room in the ground floor was also constructed, was prepared, so that he had just to come out of his room, come to the waiting room, meet the devotees. It would be so easy. So his convenience was kept in mind, and that is how his accommodation was made in this new room, very nicely furnished new room, air conditioned, everything was done for him. Now, as soon as he came to know that he was not accommodated in the usual room on the first floor, he became very much displeased, very much unpleasant. He was very much displeased. He said, I am not going to stay in that room. Now, suddenly, how to prepare that room? But he said, I am not going to enter this room. He was very, very stubborn. No, I will stay in that room only. And so, with great difficulty, all the arrangements had to be changed. The Swamiji in charge at that time tried to pacify him, tried to clarify that it was for his convenience that this has been done, and this is very much more well furnished, and this waiting hall is just nearby, so it will be more convenient for him to meet the devotees and all that. He said, nothing doing. I am going to stay in that same room only. Ultimately, he did not listen, and ultimately he had to be accommodated in the first floor. So all the monks were very much, disturbed. Why he is so much stubborn about it? Then he told his sevak, why I want to stay in this room? I know this room has got much less facilities. I know I will have to always climb first floor. So many times I will have to come down. Again I go to temple. Again I have come down. Again I have to meet the devotees. Again I will have to come down. I know all that thing. But in the process, what do I get? In this room, all the great senior monks have stayed. Prabhu Maharaj has stayed. Vireshwanji Maharaj has stayed. Gambhir Maharaj has stayed. So many other Swamijis have stayed here. So it has got its vibrations. Don't understand. These senior monks, where do they stay? That place becomes holy. And those vibrations, they remain there. And so I insisted on staying here. So a new outlook came to the monks at that time, that here is something different. We are always talking about, physical amenities. Oh, this room has got so many amenities. We never think in terms of the vibrations of that room. But Maharaj was very particular. He preferred vibrations rather than the amenities. That was his greatness. When he was the head of Rajkot Ashrama, when he took charge in 1966 from Swami Bhuteshananji Maharaj, then he asked, what is to be done by me? He said, we have done so many things, but one thing still unfinished. What is that? The temple. Because the shrine is very small shrine, it is attached to the office. So we are trying to build a temple. And at that time, the project was 3 lakh rupees, which was considered very ambitious project by Swami Bhuteshananji Maharaj. And really, general public also thought that 3 lakhs rupees was a very, very ambitious project. But anyway, he said already the plan has been made and we are trying to collect the funds, but we will have to take a lot of efforts. So, this is the thing that you have to complete. Then Bhuteshwar Maharaj left. Now, Atmasthanaji Maharaj, what did he do? He changed the plan. He said, no, this is the place, Gujarat is the place of temples. Here there are big temples of Dwarka and Somnath. There should be big temple of Sri Ramakrishna also here. And Gujaratis are basically devotees. So we should have a big temple. So he changed the plan from rupees 3 lakh to 12 lakh at that time. Of course, went on to that letters went on to become 45 lakhs by the time it was finished. If you take the quantity, the materials also that came in as gift. And this is in 1979 and 1966, these 3 lakhs was itself too much. But he made a plan of 12 lakh rupees, whatever it is. Now, to collect funds, very difficult. But he started in right earnest. Simultaneously, there was a lot of relief work also was going on. At Surat also he took up a very big relief work. That also he went on doing it. At the same time, he started collecting money for this temple. Now, you can imagine 12 lakh rupees was a very big thing, but he got the architects from Ahmedabad and he said, I want a replica of Belur Math. And there was a brahmachari who had joined recently. He was actually he had done his architecture, he has done his structural engineering from USA, fortunately. So he was very helpful. He had just joined recently. He was given the charge along with the architect of Ahmedabad and Rajkot. He went all the way to Calcutta and retrieved those original plans of Belur Math from the original company who had constructed Belur Math temple. Whatever it is, all these things he did. Now, collection of funds. So what he did is that he gave this work to devotees. Also he told, you must collect the funds. And then he brought out the coupons, 1 rupee coupons. 1 rupee, 1 rupee, 1 rupee. He said, this temple, money from this temple should come from the poor people, from the general public, not poor, but the general public, and they should have this sort of sense of belonging that this temple, we have given contribution to this temple. So whole of Rajkot, all the people, they were given, the devotees were given this 1 rupee coupon and they had to collect 1 rupee, 1 rupee, 1 rupee. It was a Herculean task. Even the sadhus and brahmacharis were given direction. One would go to north side, one go to south side, western side, and every day evening there will be the evaluation, how much money everybody is collected. That was be evaluated. So with a missionary zeal, that collection of money was going on. At that time, one person came and he said, I want to donate 5 lakh rupees for this temple construction. And Maharaj was so happy. He thought it is a grace of God. Just imagine 1 rupee was very difficult. And it was a 12 lakh rupees project. Almost half the project is over. And by that time, with great difficulty, they would have, maybe within 2-3 years, they have only collected 2-3 lakh rupees, maybe. And now, at one stroke, you are getting 5 lakh rupees. So I was very happy. So he told one Swamiji. So he said, I have brought in cash. So he said, okay. He told him to count, and the counting was over. I said, now, which name the receipt has to be issued? He said, no, I don't want receipt. Maharaj said, no, without receipt we cannot accept the money. Not at all, it is not possible. And do you know? He returned that money. He returned that 5 lakh rupees back. Give. He told that Swami, no compromise with principles. We will not take any money without receipt. Swami Vivekananda started this tradition transparency, 100% transparency in our accounts. Nothing will be taken, nothing will be uh, taken as donation without issuing any receipt. And he returned 5 lakh rupees, just imagine. So his name was Satyakrishna Maharaj, earlier name was Satyakrishna. He justified his name. He was holding on to the truth. And now this was after this 1968 relief for Surat was that was a great Herculean task that he had undergone. Now in 1969 it so happened there was a severe drought in Kutch. Kutch is sort of about 300 kilometers away from Rajkot. Kutch, Bhuj. Kutch is a big district, so Bhuj and Dhaneti and all that, so many villages. So and then he came to know that villagers are suffering and they are starving. Not only that are suffering, and the animals are dying, and even the people they are starving. So he became very much alarmed. So along with 2 more Swamijis, by car, they immediately rushed to Kutch side, and they made a survey of all the villages. And then they came to a particular village where there was maximum of suffering by the people. And that particular village was Dhaneti. That is about, say, 30 kilometers from Bhuj, which is the capital of Kutch district, the main city in Kutch. So Dhaneti is a small village at that time, and they were all, basically they used to keep the animals. And these animals, they all had died, and they used to do little bit of farming, and that also was not possible because there was a severe drought, there was no water. And during those times, there used to be no rains in Kutch, hardly 2-3 inches of rain. Whereas Saurashtra would get 15 to 20, 30 inches of rain. Whereas South Gujarat will get 70, 80 inches of rain, 60 inches of rain. But here, hardly 2-3 inches of rain at that time. So there used to be only thorns. And those trees also like thorny trees, that's all. It is very near the desert. Desert of Kutch is very near. So it is a desert area. And already it was dry, it became more dry. Even drinking water was a problem. So Maharaj got so much of, he was so much disturbed, he was so mentally disturbed that he immediately said, he took lot of items for cooking. In villages they used to take bajra. They will not take chapati made of wheat. They will take big rotla of bajra. So all those things he carried in his car and told the villagers, we will start a kitchen here and we'll feed you. The villagers are nothing doing. Just imagine, in other places, in other parts of India, if you go, villagers will be, they will be quarreling and fighting for getting the aid. This we have seen ourselves. And here it is reverse. The villagers telling, we are not going to take any help from you. Why? You know why we are suffering? We are suffering because of our sins. And if we take from the hands of the monks, we will suffer more. We don't want to have additional sins. Already we are suffering so much. And we have additional sins by taking the food from the hands of the sadhus. Oh my God. Then we will be suffering more. So we don't want to accept anything from you. But Maharaj, his heart was melting and he said, you are suffering so much, you must accept. If you want, afterwards when you have got good days, you return. But now you must accept. But they were not accepting. Then Maharaj told, okay, you don't want to accept because you will incur sin by taking food from the sadhus. Okay, now I am going to sit here just in front of the temple. There was a Radhakrishna temple. By that side there was a small platform. He sat down on the platform. I am not going to eat anything now and I will give up my body here. Then you will get a lot of merit. Okay, get merit. If a sadhu dies here, you will get a lot of merit. Now these villagers became so much afraid. My God, if the sadhu dies here because of not taking food, he has already gone on a hunger strike, that will be adding more to the miseries. Finally, they agreed, okay, we will take from your hand, you start kitchen, with the condition that when good days arrives, then you will take back all the things. Maharaj agreed. Immediately, the kitchen was started. Second condition, they said, you need not bring anything. You just bring the items. We will cook. All the village people, they said, we will cook. And from 22 villages, people used to come every day morning and evening to take the food. 22 villages, thousands of people used to be fed. It went on for 6 months. And when it was time for winding up the camp, what happened, the villagers secretly, by the time the good days had come, secretly they said, we will not allow the cars and the vehicles to go empty. They filled up the vehicles with lot of grains, food grains and other items, eatable items and all that. And Swami Atmastanji Maharaj was amazed at the devotion of those villagers. And these villagers also, they were amazed at the compassionate heart of Swami Atmastanji. With the result, the villagers there, they became so close to the heart of Atmasthananji, and Atmasthananji used to go to the villages later on in Dhaneti. He was there from 1966 to 75 in Rajkot. So after 69, he went so many times to Dhaneti. And these people, they will make a festival when Atmasthananji went. And afterwards, many of them became devotees. If you go to village Dhaneti, in every house, most of the village so many have taken Diksha also, initiation. In every house, you will take the photograph of Sri Ramakrishna, Sarada Devi, Swami Vivekananda, and photograph of Swami Atmastanji. They look upon Swami Atmastanji as God. They have got great respect for Swami Atmastanji Maharaj. These people in Dhaneti, they got that much of, they were sort of connected by heart with Atmastanji. And Atmastanji also, even when he became vice president, even when he became president, if any devotee, any villager coming from Kutch and going to Belumat, all the rules are set aside. He can come, he can do pranam. No rules for people from Dhaneti. That was the love that Maharaj had for the villagers, the poor villagers. And you know what has happened now? These poor villagers who did not have anything to eat, they were so poor, they had nothing. There were only 2 bicycles in that village total. Now every house has got a truck, every family has got car, and there are some 3 or 4 luxurious cars which are not seen even in Bombay. And every family has become so rich, and they say all this happened because of the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna and because of the blessings of Atmastanji Maharaj. So, what I mean to say is that Atmastanji Maharaj, compassionate heart, so much of compassion for the poor people. And from that day, every year, as on today also, up to today, up to this year, every year, Dhaneti people would send so many items. Whatever they grow, first portion should come to Sri Ramakrishna temple here. This is their tradition. Now this time it was coronavirus pandemic, so we had very strict rules, so there was no entry, but they said no, we have to offer the first portion to ashrama. So we had to make a special rule. So we said, okay, you bring the items, we had to keep the items at a little safe distance for one day, and then later on they were taken inside our godown. But they insisted that the first portion goes to Ramakrishna Ashram Rajkot, then only we will start consuming our items. This type of devotion is in the minds of the people, the simple villagers of Dhaneti, as on today. I'm talking about only last month they came and gave their items. So this shows the simplicity of the villagers. This shows the great heart, the compressed heart of Swami Atmasthanji Maharaj. So I offer my humble pranams at the feet of Swami Atmasthanji Maharaj. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.